Okey, disebabkan large volume of data tu kena move antara IO dengan kita punya processor. So, jadi ada another efficient technique is required which is called direct memory access. So, direct memory access, okey, so dalam slide ni, okey, kita nampak interrupt driven dengan program IO ni will require active CPU intervention. Jadi CPU tu dia type up lah, dan disebabkan device punya transfer rate ni agak limited, okay, so dia tetap consume the CPU punya load tu sebenarnya. So the DMA is the answers. Jadi okay, so DMA ni involve an additional module on the system bus. Okay, ada satu extra modul yang mana kita panggil dia sebagai TMA module. Okay, so IO module dengan main memory will exchange the data directly, okay, without the processor involvement, dengan adanya DMA module ni. Okay, dengan adanya DMA module ni. Okay, so kalau kita tengok dekat sini, dia punya proses dia tu, okay, the CPU will read the block command to the IO module. Okay, so DMA ni akan baca the command tu, okay, dan kemudian CPU tu akan do something else. Okay, kemudian DMA will process the interrupt, will process the, maksudnya macam getting the IO tu ready, okay, kemudian barulah DMA tu akan interrupt the CPU. So, CPU akan read the status of the DMA module. Okay, kemudian barulah kita go to the next instruction. Okay. Okay, so DMA function, okay, is it is an additional module hardware on a bus which the DMA controller will take over from the CPU for IO. So in this case dia macam dia mimicking, dia macam jadi satu processor lah, a small processor that taking over the control of the system from the processor. Okay, so DMA will need to transfer the data from memory to the system bus. Okay, jadi for this purpose, the DMA ni, saya tunjukkan dia punya gambar rajah dia tu. Macam ni. So this is the typical DMA module diagram lah. Kalau kita tengok dekat gambar rajah ni, so dia macam sama macam kalau kita tengok macam processor, dia ada data register, address register, dan also ada control logic. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini lah. Okay. So, DMA modul ni dia transfer data daripada memory ke dalam sistem bus. Macam mana? Kalau kita tengok kat sini, dia ada line lah. Kita ada data line, address line. Dia ada control line. Okay. So, control line for request to the DMA, acknowledge from DMA, interrupt, read dan juga write. Okay. So, untuk operation DMA ni, the CPU will tell the DMA controller, okay, whether a read or write is requested using the read or write control line between the processor and also the DMA module. Okay. Kemudian kalau dia nak baca, katakan nak baca ataupun tulis blok data tu juga, dia kena provide the device address. Okay, that is involved. Okay, communicated on the data line. Okay, so the starting location in memory to read the memory block of data, okay, ataupun write to communicated on the data line and stored by the DMA module in its address register. Kemudian CPU ni juga, okay, akan send to the data module the amount of data to be transferred. Okay. So the CPU will carry on with the other work. Once dia dah hantar, dia dah tells the DMA controller ni apa yang dia dah hantar ni, okay, dia akan continue with their works lah. Okay, so the DMA controller will deal with this transfer, and then once it's finished, DMA controller will send interrupt when it is finished. Okay, so in this case, processor tu cuma involved at the beginning and also at the end of the transfer. Okay, so how does it running the interruption tu ataupun kita kata the instruction cycle tu. Okay. The Okay, tadi kan saya bagi tahu bila dia DMA ni, okay, once dia dah finish katakan dia dah send the interrupt tu, okay, so sekarang dia nak kena transfer the data, right, transfer back. So DMA controller ni akan takes over the bus for a cycle, yang mana dia akan curi, okay, dicuri one cycle, okay, to transfer the data over the system bus. Okay, so DMA ni akan transfer one word of the data, which it will return the control to the processor. So once data tu dah transfer, dia akan return balik control tu pada processor. So note that this is not an interrupt, yang mana the processor tu does not save a context and do something else. Okay. It's just that the processor ni cuma dia suspended saja just before it accesses the bus. Example, before an operand or data fetch or ataupun kita kata data write. Okay. So the overall effect is that it will cause the processor to execute more slowly lah. It will slow down the CPU but not as much as CPU doing transfer like interrupt driven ataupun program IO. Okay, so this type of DMA punya modul ni is far more efficient bila kita ada a multiple IO transfer. Okay, kita ada beberapa IO devices kan yang kita nak kena transfer. Jadi DMA ni it's much better lah. So multiple word IO transfer kita panggil. Okay. So disebabkan ada banyak sangat kita nak transfer, jadi DMA ni lagi bagus lah sebenarnya. Okay. So DMA ni ada beberapa configuration. Yang mana dia nak kita kata macam mekanism kita panggil, kita punya dia punya mekanism tu. Okay. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, ada satu configuration ni, system bus ni is shared. Okay. By all. Kalau awak tengok kat situ. All module tu will share the same system bus, yang mana DMA ni akan acting as a surrogate processor. Okay, dia maintain semua So DMA ni akan jadi surrogate processor. Okay. That use program IO to exchange data between memory and IO module through the DMA module. So this configuration, while it may be inexpensive, dia antara advantages dia adalah inexpensive, maknanya tak adalah mahal, macam tu kan. But it is inefficient. So dia punya disadvantage dia tu adalah inefficient lah sebenarnya. Okay. So with processor control program IO, each transfer of a word will consume 2 bus cycle. Bila dia buat macam ni, kita perlukan 2 bus cycle lah. Satu adalah DMA tu nak transfer, kemudian processor tu pula nak receive and transfer the data tu lah sebenarnya. Jadi tengok lagi satu. Okay, another one is what we call as single bus integrated DMA IO. Okay, disebabkan kalau yang tadi, yang shared tu tadi, dia memerlukan dia consume 2 bus cycle tu. Jadi kali ni dia propose to cut the bus cycle tu, the number of required bus cycle tu by integrating DMA dan juga IO. Kalau kita tengok kat sini, nampak kan, DMA dengan IO macam tu. So this indicates that there is a path between the DMA module and one or more IO modules that does not include the system bus. So IO sendiri tak ada connected to the system bus lah. But the DMA logic tu yang part of an IO module. Okay. So it can be part of an IO module ataupun a separate module that controls one or more IO modules. So this concept can be taken one step further by connecting IO modules to the DMA modules using an IO bus. Ada lagi satu, namanya macam ni. Kita ada DMA yang connected to the system bus, and then bawah DMA ni ada satu lagi nama dia, satu bus nama dia IO bus. Okay, means that the DMA will become like a manager lah. This will reduce the number of IO interfaces in the DMA module to one and provides an easily expandable configuration. Okay, so maknanya daripada DMA ni saja kita boleh expand dan retract lah. Maknanya kita boleh tambah-tambah lagi dekat dalam DMA tu nanti. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, sistem bus ni, DMA ni akan share dengan processor dengan memory through the system bus. Okay, which the DMA will use only to exchange data lah antara memory dengan processor tu nanti. Okay, so the exchange of data between DMA and IO module will take place by the IO, meaning that system bus ni dia dah load off the burden for transferring the IO data tu nanti. Okay, so kalau ikutkan yang ni lagi bagus lah sebenarnya kalau dia buat design yang macam ni. Okay,